Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, college coaches and fans of high school or college football. My name is Coach Anthony Williams. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Connected Athletics. We like to use the Spotlight podcast to give high school and collegiate athletes a chance, a platform to tell their story, to share their journey and who they are off the field, as important as who they are on the field. We know how much everybody likes to watch huddle videos and highlights on different social media outlets. But as high school athletes, like the one we're about to talk to here, they want to make sure that coaches understand who they are as an athlete, but more importantly, who they are as a person. What are they into away from the field? Because those questions are kind of the intangible questions that college coaches also must have before they decide to offer a young man to come to their program and be part of their football program and part of that university. Before we get into tonight's guest, I want to thank our sponsors. Our first sponsor is Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings is very passionate about helping student athletes get their story out, share their journey about who they are and how they got to where they are and what their future plans are. So shout out to Brian Soltis, who's a regional VP at Buffalo Wild Wings, who also cares very much about student athletes and their voices. Second sponsor would be my friends up in Nebraska at Go Edit Graphics. They are a graphics company that creates customizable graphics for high school and college athletic departments who want to add another level to their outbound communication, whether it's a player spotlight, a schedule change, or just anything to do with the athletic program out to their fan base. They can customize the graphics per the colors of the school and per the mascot. So shout out to my guy, Zach, and the guys at Go Edit Graphics. And then lastly, my friend Stefan Johnson, he has a new sports apparel company down in Houston called Epic 247. Epic stands for Every Play I Compete. And they do uniforms, they do 7-on-7 jerseys, they do workout gear, they do a lot of dazzling workout gear. So if you're a little tired of the same old at Academy or in some of these other stores, you might want to check out at Epic 247. They have a really nice variety of designs for both male and female athletes, or those just looking for comfort wear when they're out working out on their own. So thanks to all my sponsors. With that said, let's talk about this young man who I've kind of gotten to know here recently, been evaluating his film along with some of the other top class 25 players across the country. Styhles McKenzie Baker is a DB who attends University Preparatory Charter High School in New York. As I mentioned, he's class 25. He's 5'7", 160 pounds, has a strong GPA of 3.4. He just recently got an offer from University of Buffalo, which we'll talk about here in a second. He was an Under Armour All-American. And coaches, you can see his Twitter name there if you want to reach out to him going forward. I know class 25 is kind of early, but there's some elite players in this class. And so I'm looking forward to having Styhles on the call right now. Styhles, how are you doing this evening?
Good, you?
I'm doing great, man. So I want to really get to know you a little bit more as I've been evaluating your film and following you. But I also want these college coaches to know who you are, because as your class starts to move into the recruiting spotlight here coming up next year, they'll look back to this video and say, hey, this young man has got his act together. He's well-spoken and things like that. So let's just jump right in, Styhles. First of all, tell me, Styhles McKenzie Baker, interesting name. Tell us a little bit about how your family named you Styhles.
I don't really know. I think because my great granddad, his nickname was Styles, so I think that's where they got the name from.
Okay, all right, I like it. Okay, represent for Grandpa. Hey, Styles, you know how important recruiting is. You're just a freshman, but you've been involved in a lot of the national events, Under Armour and things like that. Mm-hmm. Tell us about the importance you put on your academics. You've got the strong 3.4 GPA. Tell us how important that is to you and your family.
It's really important, because without grades, you can't go nowhere. You're not going to be able to go to college without your grades.
Okay. What are some of your favorite classes that drives at GPA?
Mine, I'm going to say history. I like to learn about my past.
Okay. All right. Any other classes? Are you a math guy by chance? Sciences? English?
I used to like math, but not really. I like English, though. English and history.
Okay. We all know the importance of academics, as you mentioned, but there's always a teacher or a coach or a tutor or a counselor, maybe an AP at your school, maybe in elementary, maybe in middle school, that had an impact on you academically. Nate, is there a certain teacher you want to shout out or coach that's kind of helped you academically that you can shout out right now?
Academic-wise, I don't know.
Maybe a teacher that made learning fun. It's like, okay, yeah, if I really, I want to be an elite athlete, but now this teacher made me understand that I got to take care of the academics. I mean, it's like a old English teacher or history teacher that kind of opened your eyes.
Not really. I can't think of enough.
Okay, that's fine. Probably got a lot of good teachers there. Tell us, what is life like? Whenever I see preparatory charter schools, especially in New York, what's that experience like? How is it different from a public high school from your perspective?
From my perspective, it's different because like it's an all boys school, so like it's not really like a lot to worry about. Like it's just a bunch of dudes there, so you're not gonna be distracted, stuff like that. The teacher's nice, just a lot.
Okay, all right. Tell us a little bit about, I know you're still just now class of 25. You've got another 3 years to get to college, but have you thought about what you might want to major in when you get to college?
I'm thinking like sports management or business. Like I want to learn how to invest my money.
Okay, well, I like that a lot. I like the way that sounds. And then Styles, another thing that coaches want to hear about in this interview is your learning style. Everybody learns things differently, but tell these coaches, are you more of a verbal, visual, or hands-on learning style?
I'm gonna say visual. Like I like to see what I'm learning about.
Okay. So you like to see it as far as on the whiteboard or the chalkboard with your teachers, and then obviously with film as you get ready for games each week?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Very good to know. And then, we're kind of on the backside of the pandemic, and I think we're going to see college coaches back on campus coming up here. For a college coach that has not seen you in class yet, tell them what are they going to see, where are you going to be sitting, and how you interact with your teammates and your teachers.
I'll probably be saying like by like the middle of the classroom, like not too far in the front, not too far in the back, so I can see what's going on. My teachers, I pay attention to class. I don't really talk a lot. Like it's really nothing to talk about. Just pay attention.
Okay. And then when you do struggle in a class, what do you do to help turn that grade around? Maybe you got a C or something in the class. Like, hey, what do I got to do here to get a better grade? What are some of the things you do to improve some of your grades in some of your classes that you're struggling?
I like talk to my teacher about it, seeing like what can help me like better understand it.
Okay, it's a good practice. Hey, let's switch over to learning more about you personally. Tell us about your family. What your mom and dad do for a living? Were they athletes? Do you have any siblings? Are you the youngest, the oldest? Give us a little bit about the Baker family.
My mom. So I'm raised mostly by my mom, but I do see my dad a lot. Mm-hmm. He was an athlete. He played football, but then he stopped. My mom, she was also an athlete. She played basketball in high school. I got 7 other siblings.
How many?
7.
Oh, wow. Okay. Where do you fit in there?
I'm the third to last. So I got 4 brothers and 3 sisters.
Okay. Were any of them current or former athletes?
Yeah, majority of them. Mostly my brothers, though. Like all my brothers played football before me.
Okay. What was that like having older brothers who played the sport at a higher level? What did you learn from them?
My big brother, like I really look up to him. Like he played D2 college at West Liberty. He was good. I really just look up to him mostly, like because he know the game, he really know everything. So he's just teaching me as we go.
Okay. And then lastly, obviously you've got some younger siblings behind you. Tell us about the importance you put on being the best older brother to some of your younger siblings.
It's really important, like, because they're going to look up to me. They see me, right. They're going to look up to me. So I'm really like their role model.
Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. Tell me, Styles, when you're not working out for football or any other sport, no practice, no games, you got some free time. What do you like to do when you do have some free time? What are some of the hobbies? What are some of the interests outside of football?
I like do like a mixture of playing the game and reading. Like I do both. I try to even it out.
Okay. You like to read a lot?
Yeah.
What's the last book you read that you really enjoyed? What was the name of it? Do you remember?
The Hunger Games.
Okay. Did you like that?
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Okay. Tell me a little bit about, obviously, how important social media is when it comes to recruiting. For coaches that have not visited your Twitter page yet, tell them, what are they going to see? What kind of message are you putting out there? What kind of image are you putting out there about yourself, your team, and recruiting on your Twitter page?
I'm a dependable corner. Like, you can really depend on me. I'm always be there if you need me. Yeah, that's really it.
Okay. And then what about as far as showing you as a full-rounded student athlete? Are you sharing things about grades? Are you shouting at your teammates to have a good game? Things like that on your timeline also?
Yeah, all the time. Like, my team, I'm really a team player. Like, my teammates, we all got a great bond together. So, like, that's really.
Okay. How is the season going so far? We're about midway through. I don't know where you guys are in New York, but how are you guys doing so far this season?
Right now, we are 5-1.
Okay. First place? Are you guys all tied, or where are you at there?
I think we second in our bracket.
Okay. And I assume, based on your film that I saw, you're playing varsity right now, or no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's it like playing varsity as a freshman? You know, there's a lot of freshmen that would love to play on varsity, but they're either not ready physically or mentally. Obviously, you're an accomplished elite athlete. What's been that experience so far playing with upperclassmen who are going to be graduating this year or juniors?
The experience is good. Like, last year, I actually started playing varsity last year, my 8th grade year, and like, that's when I was like, that was just my year to like really learn the game. Like, we had better corners on the team, so I was just paying attention to them, like seeing how they play. And now this year, just like my year, like, I'm in the corner now, and I done learned everything last year, so I know what to do, I know what to expect. Like, so I really look up to my teammates.
Okay. The question, being a father of a DB that played professionally, I always like to ask the question: are you a converted corner, or have you always wanted to play corner?
I've always wanted to play corner.
That's rare.
Like,
okay. Yeah,
when
that's
I
rare.
was younger, I think like age 10, when I first started playing football, like 9 years old, I was already a safety. I was really at safety, and then I transferred to corner.
Okay. Tell us from your perspective as an accomplished player, the differences you see between playing corner and, say, safety, or playing inside the nickel. How would you describe those three different DB positions?
Corner, I'm gonna start with nickel. Like, nickel, it's probably like the hardest because you got to guard out the slot. They could go left, right. It's just mad space for you to cover at nickel. Corner, I like corner the most. I don't know, I'm in between nickel and corner, but I really play corner. It's it's easier, like staying in front of them, moving your feet at the line, don't let them pass you. And then safety, I think I like safety the most because like you can see everything, like you can see where the ball might go, be a ball, like just find the ball.
Yeah, well, it's interesting you say that, because exactly what my son says. He played corner and then transitioned to safety when he got to the NFL, and he talked about that corner. You're on an island and you're playing the game mostly with your back to the play, but when you're safety, everything's in front of you and you get to see everything. And so it was a really different perspective. So it's special that you see that already as a young player. Hey, a couple of fun questions for the coaches to know more about you. What's your favorite all-time sports movie? And it doesn't have to be football. What's your favorite sports movie?
Sports movie. It's either The Longest Yard or Waterboy.
Okay, good choices. And then what's your favorite food?
Macaroni and cheese.
Mac and cheese, all right. And then I don't know if you're into Marvel or DC Comics, but do you have a favorite superhero? And if you could be one, who would it be and why?
I'm gonna say Superman. Like, Superman just be on some crazy stuff. Like, nobody can really stop Superman.
Yeah. Okay. Good choice. These coaches will also want to know, as you get closer into your next year and your junior year, who's going to be involved in helping you decide what college you'll commit to? Who's going to be involved with that process?
Like, who's gonna like be like, yo, you should go here?
No, well, who's going to help you make that decision? Mom and dad, coach, or trainer? Who's going to help you make that decision?
My coaches, my brother, my cousin. That's really it. Like, they work together.
Okay, good.
Like,
all right, so you're gonna have some help there. That's good. Tell me a little bit about what do you, like I said, you're just a freshman. That's kind of hard to ask the question, but what are you looking for when you do get to college? Do you want to play in a big time conference? Do you want to stay close to home? Are you willing to go anywhere across the country? Give us a little bit about your mindset as you're just now starting the recruiting cycle.
I want to stay close to home, but if I got a chance to play at a big college, I'm gonna go do it.
Okay. All right. Nothing wrong with that. Staying close to the family. And then tell me a little bit about, you're obviously there's not a player that I've ever met or coached that did not like playing in front of a full capacity stadium with people screaming their names and going up and down with the game. But tell us, what are you doing to give back to your community there in New York where you live? Are you involved in the church? Are you involved in nonprofits? Are you helping other young football players with their drills? What are you doing to give back to your community?
I'm actually a part of a program called CTC, Changing the Community. Like, we bring in the younger kids and older kids, but like, I really work with like the younger kids because I've been there for a while, like 4 or 5 years. So like the younger kids, like, I critique their game, like make sure they know what's going on, like why they doing the stuff they do, like really helping them out to be the best they can be.
That's awesome. That's definitely nice. That's good stuff there. Tell me, Styles, one of my favorite questions is, I don't know when you're going to stop playing football, whether it's after a 10-year career in the NFL or after college, but what do you want your life to look like when you're done with the game or the game's done with you?
Really just a nice regular life, like peaceful. Like, I ain't got to work no more. I just got it.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. I hear that. Tell me, do you have a favorite quote or Bible verse that you can remember that you want to share with us?
Yeah. I'm going to say by Deion Sanders, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. And if you play good, they pay good.
Yeah.
Like, on the field, I always got to look good. Like, if I don't look good, then I go out there like, hey, I don't even want to play. Like, when I look good, I'm feeling myself. I'm ready to play.
Yep. One of my favorite quotes also from Deion. Yep. He also finishes that with look good, play good, live good, eat good, live good. So I like that a lot. I love you like that. Tell me, tell me about your other sports. You're a good athlete, obviously playing cornerback. Do you play basketball? Do you run track? What other sports do you do? Baseball? What else do you do besides football?
I used to play basketball, but now I just play football. And I ran indoor track last year. This year I'm gonna run indoor and outdoor.
Okay. What events do you run in track and field?
Last year I did the 400 meters, the 200 meter, and I think that was it. And okay. I think I did the 75.
What's your favorite track event that you like doing?
I'm gonna say so far I like to do 200 meter.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna do hurdles.
Okay, all right, it's no joke. As long as you're running track, there's not a college coach that doesn't question why an elite football player is not running track in the spring. So I'm glad to hear that you're doing that for sure. Tell me, what's your favorite sports memory yourself, Styles? What maybe back in youth football or basketball, or maybe recently this year? What's your favorite play of yourself where you said, "Yeah, I made that play. I think I'm pretty good."
Probably like every time when I'm like playing off like 7x2 and I jump around, like that'd be the best feeling. Like, that's really the best feeling.
Okay, I can understand that. And then tell us, you're going in you played last year as varsity as an 8th grader. You're playing it now. What would you consider your strengths as a cornerback, and what are some of the things you're working on to be a more complete cornerback?
Some of my strengths, I would say that like at the line, I got good feet. Like, if you can't use your feet better than me at the line, then we just gonna be there. Like, you're not gonna catch the ball. But I think the thing I need to work on, bigger and taller. Like, that's really all I need. I just need to get bigger, stronger, faster.
Okay. And speaking of that, are you a big weight room guy? You like lifting in the off season?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us, coaches also want to have a not just a great player individually, but a great teammate. Tell me how your teammates would describe you as a teammate.
My teammates, they say I'm a good teammate. Like, I'm really a team first player. I like to, like, me and my team got a good bond. So, like, we always close. Like, I trust them. They trust me. We just close.
Okay. Good stuff. And then what motivates you? What motivates you on those days when you don't feel like going to practice or you don't feel like working out? What motivates you to push through that to stay the elite player that you are?
I just think about where I want to be in life. Like if I want to make it to the NFL, I gotta put in the work.
Good stuff. I like it. It's a great response. Styles, I usually put players into two different buckets. Those that love to practice and play in the games, and those that love to go through the motions in practice and want to turn the lights on when the game happens on Friday. Which one are you?
I like the practice.
Yeah.
Like practice, our practice is be lit. Like it just be mad fun because like it's a bunch of good athletes on the team. Like we're a good team, so we be competing in practice, but like we don't be like going crazy. Like we just have a friendly competition.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good answer.
Like,
I like that a lot.
doing better.
Styles, tell me how important is trust to you? Obviously, it's in football, especially on defense. You got 11 guys. You got to trust your defensive end and your linebacker to your left or to your right, safety behind you. How important is trust to you when it comes to teammates and trusting your coaches?
It's real important. Like I can't trust you on the field, then I'm gonna have to try and like help myself really, like try and do everything by myself because I don't got your trust knowing that you going. If I pass you up this slant, that you gonna break it up. Like I gotta know that my coaches, I gotta trust my coaches. If I don't trust them, then why would I listen to them?
Yeah, true. And then it goes both ways. They trust you. Do you feel like your teammates and coaches trust you to be on time for practice, for team meetings, for team events? I mean, you feel like your trust factor is there for them also?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Tell me, is there a certain player, cornerback, that you pat yourself off of, whether he's at the college level or the NFL level? What's a cornerback you look at and go, that's how I want my game to be as I continue to develop?
I would say Darrell Reeves, Deion Sanders, Stephon Gilmore. And that's probably it.
Okay. I like that. It's a very good list right there. I'll tell you that much. Tell me a little bit about, do you play on a 7-on-7 team in the spring and summer or no? Who do you play for?
This team called CTC, Changing the Community.
Okay. And then obviously 7-on-7 helps, but in your own words as a cornerback, how is it to get all those extra reps 7-on-7 to get you better to work on your skills, your footwork, your hips, ball skills, things like that? Tell us what you like about 7-on-7.
I like that. Like it's not 11 people on the field, so you got to cover longer. Like you got to really know your skills is there because you don't got to be line to stop the quarterback. You just got to know your skills.
Yep. Okay. Like it. Tell me about a time, Styles, when you had to overcome some type of adversity. Maybe it was an injury. Maybe it was something going on with your family. You're in the season. Tell me about a time you had to overcome some adversity.
Probably injuries. Last year I had injured my leg and I had to sit out a game. And yeah, I had to come back and take my spot back, like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. Obviously, coaches talk about leadership all the time, as you know, and every coach loves a leader. Tell us how you define leadership and how you help lead your team on defense.
I say leadership means to like be able to take control when you need to and like lead your team. Like if you can't just step up and take control and like relax the team, like that's a big deal.
Okay. And then last, as we finish up here, let's talk about recruiting. Like I said, you're just now a freshman, but you're playing on varsity, which means your recruiting clock has started. Tell us if it all worked out perfect, what are some of the top schools you're looking at playing for or committing to in 2 or 3 years?
I don't know. Any good D1 schools.
Okay. What about conference? Yeah, you want to stay back east playing the ACC or, back that way? Or what are some of the conferences you say, yeah, I'd love to play in that conference, no matter what team it is? SEC, Big Ten?
Probably the Big 12.
Well, let me ask you, who's your favorite? What college teams you say, like, yeah, that's a good school. I like following them. What are some of your favorite colleges?
I like Alabama, Oregon, UB, Clemson. Who else?
That's a good one. That's a good list right there. And I forgot to mention early when I was coaching, we always want to, talk about your height and weight. So, you said you're like 5'9", 5'8" right now, 160. What do you think your height and weight will be by the time you graduate from high school in 3 years? What would you want your ideal height and weight to be?
I want to be like 6 foot, like 6'1", but I think I'm gonna be about 5'11", 195, 190.
Okay. It's not bad size at all. And then your dad, tell these coaches, because we always ask, like, hey, what's dad? Well, let me ask 2 questions. One, what's your shoe size right now?
10.
Okay. And then what's your dad's height? What's your mom and dad's height?
My mom, she's 5'3". My dad is 6'1".
Okay. All right. Like, that gives coach a little background about, because can't cheat DNA and whatnot. So definitely good there. Hey, as we finish up here, tell us, as you're going through the rest of the season, you guys are 5-1 right now. What are your team goals? What are your team goals, obviously, going forward, and what are your individual goals going forward?
My team goals, we're trying to get a sectional title. Like, we just want to win it all. And then, because I want to win it all for the seniors that's about to leave. Like, I feel like it's only right they should have that, they name on that wall. And then individual goals, I want to lead my state in picks.
Okay. Where are you right now? Because I know you don't get a lot of the chance thrown your way because you have great coverage. But how many picks do you have now?
No.
Yeah. They're not throwing your way. So, but what are some other things you look? Do you look at can't get pass breakers? What are you doing if they're not throwing your way as a cornerback? What are some of the other things you're doing to impact your team to have success on the defense side?
I'm just like, first off, I let my team know that they're not going to throw to this kid. I'm like, the kid in front of me, they're not about to throw to him. So y'all just worry about the other side. And if they run the ball, I got to get into the run fit. That's really what I'd be worried about. Like, trying to get downhill and make a tackle, because I know that's what coach is going to see.
Yeah, that's very smart. Well, Styhles, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to continue to watch you going forward here. I've been watching your film, checking with some guys that know you. I think you had a very bright future. We appreciate you coming on the podcast tonight. We'll get this out to college coaches. Probably follow up with you here in the offseason coming up here. And hopefully I'll keep evaluating some of these class 25 DBs. So a long list to go through, but maybe we'll see you down in Naples. I'll be in contact with you. But have a great game. Have a great week of preparation. Have a great game this week. And I wish you nothing but the best of luck for the rest of the season, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, Styhles.